We out here.
We're out here.
All right, y'all. Let's get into the shit. So, we'll talk about the All-Star game this past weekend, which I thought. Well, hold on. I'll let you go first. No, actually, let me go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't watch any of it, but 9 minutes of highlights this morning, and I could tell you exactly how the game went from start to finish. It's a bunch of threes, 2 alley-oops, two-handed throwdown, a fucking no defense, and Giannis was MVP. That was it. I don't think.
No, since you didn't watch the whole game, that does kind of sum it up.
But I'm saying, like, if you were to tell someone who like maybe doesn't know basketball, and you just tell them how that went, they're like, that's a pretty boring game.
Yeah, from a basketball purist standpoint, I kind of can't deal with just coming down and shooting threes. I don't want to watch that. That's not fun to watch after a certain point. All right. So yeah, don't know where you went there, but you're back. So I don't even know what I was saying. Oh yeah, it's boring watching 3-point shooters come down and shoot the ball. At some point, like, we get it. You can shoot, there's no defense being played. It's just a shoot around. It's not even a scrimmage at that point. It's just a shoot around. And you don't like watching the athletic dunks and stuff at the beginning. I don't mind that because I do think it's interesting to see different players' dunk styles, and I'd rather them not get hurt. And I did see Kyrie Irving one time. They threw a lob to Giannis, and he knew he was coming. He kind of backed into him, and technically that can cause some injuries if dudes are trying to block people's dunks and stuff. But the game was a little bit of a snore. You probably had other stuff to be doing. And you caught the whole thing in 9 minutes. That's basically, what happened.
So to add on to your point about dunks, the reason I don't like it is because we've seen, I want to say maybe probably one of the greatest dunk competitions between Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon. But also, in my opinion, that was also pretty cool. It wasn't great. And the reason I say that is because we've seen dudes not in the league, like Flight Brothers and a bunch of other dunkers, just straight dunkers, do that shit with ease. Right. And the only reason people want to give it to Zach LaVine and to Aaron Gordon is because they did it on a bigger stage and they're NBA players. But we've seen tons. If you go look up just YouTube dunkers, you're gonna find those things, or maybe even more difficult dunks that we haven't yet to see. So I think maybe that's why the reason I just don't like the All-Star game is because it's really not that entertaining. The dunks are cool, but they're just regular dunks. I'm not saying I could do those, but I'm saying, like, for the greatest athletes in the world, they're just doing regular dunks. They're not doing anything crazy, and because no one's trying to get dunked on.
Right.
That's another thing too. I mean, I want to see someone get shitted on. If that's the case, I want to see someone actually try to attempt to block or pin somebody. I know they're not going to do it because there's a whole bunch of ego, and that's fine. But I want to see some excitement. That's exciting to me. I don't want to see a fucking 3 quarters of who wins the rounds, and then the last quarter we have a set score, and then we got to get to that. No, that to me, that's stupid. I don't think that's entertaining at all. I think would be more entertaining, in my opinion. We see all these all-stars go one-on-one for a whole 2 hours. I think that'll be more entertaining than we see just this random game. And it's not the greatest pickup game in the world, Chris Webber.
Let's talk about the format of the All-Star game itself for a second. I personally don't like it. I get that they're doing the whole charity thing, and you can have 4 mini games. And I think was it last year? It can be pretty compelling coming down to the wire. It's not a timed thing. But it just kind of it's sort of like the regular season. It kind of makes it a moot point. If anything, let's just have them all run pickup games and mix and match teams every quarter or something. I don't really see the point in it, like I know they're doing it for the charity thing, but Team Durant didn't even win last night, so their charities are probably looking like, where's our money? Like because Kevin Durant doesn't know how to draft because he's like, I'm not even playing in this bullshit anyways. Kawhi don't give a fuck.
Care at all, yeah.
Right. So it's like I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, the format, and then the last bit of it being to a set score. And I think LeBron was already up like 20 points. Like that game's over. Now that's dumb.
They had to get to 70. And they won, I want to say, by 15?
Yeah, and then at that point, okay, you're down 20. You have to, I think it was like you had to outscore them like 45-24 or something like that. Yeah. So that means now everyone's just taking threes. So now we talk about a 3-point heavy era. Well, now it's literally the only thing you're going to shoot the rest of the quarter, the rest of the game. And guess who had the better shooters? Dame and Steph Curry were on LeBron's team, on the team up 20. So the game's, there's no competitiveness at all, at least not this year. And I think I was actually going to go back and watch like the old, like 2001, 2003 All-Star games to just like see, the different style, the different kind of sense of urgency that they had, and where it wasn't just all just highlight, flash in a pan, ISO the whole game. But I digress.
We were saying, what I said off camera to you, I was saying that I want to say the last 10 to 12 years, the All-Star game has been shitty. It hasn't been good or maybe it's because I'm an adult and maybe because I enjoy how basketball really is played. And like I said, we're savants. So I want to say that maybe because I'm not a kid, maybe because I'm not a kid of this generation of basketball, I'm not oohed and awed by you shooting 50 footers, or not really 50 footers, but half court 3-pointers. You just throwing alley oops to someone. I'm not entertained by that. And that's not the kind of basketball I've ever been entertained by. Yeah, it looks cool, but that's frustrating. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you could tell not everyone out there was having fun. No one was. Like, not no one was, but maybe like 4 or 5 people were out of everybody. I want to say the last like good memory I remember of an All-Star game, and I can't even put my finger on what year it was when Kobe blocked LeBron twice and dunked on LeBron and criticized him for not taking a shot. I want to say that was probably the last, and that probably could have been the last 10 years, but my whole thing of it, that was probably the last good All-Star game that I could recall, because it was competitive. It went down to the wire, and it brought out a whole bunch of questions of people calling LeBron this and that. But yes, I just don't. I'm never a fan of the All-Star game. I haven't been in a long time. And I think the formatting is real stupid. I don't understand that at all. I understand, and if you have to make a format to entertain somebody and switch everything up, then you got to figure out a whole nother. Then I think you just got to get rid of the All-Star game or figure out a whole new way instead of this bullshit that they're doing. My opinion.
Yeah, I feel like it's gotten very gimmicky, and to me, it's just not. There's nothing like authentic about it. Like, I mean, yeah, like you said, there's a couple people having fun. Steph Curry, acts like a kid in a candy store for whatever reason when the cameras turn on. LeBron's LeBron. Giannis is always having fun. That's in his personality. But then you see dudes like Dame, who doesn't even start. He's like, he gets in, so he starts chucking because he wants to prove that he's a better shooter than Curry, which a hot take here. Dame is the deepest shooter in the league. Curry just throws up some bullshit and does a little shimmy. Not a fan. Nice guy, not a fan of the way he plays. But point being, Kawhi Leonard looks like he's thinking about what he's eating or, when his next workout is. And then like, I feel bad for dudes like Julius Randle, Domantas Sabonis. I know they're like on the, not on the celebrity end of the All-Star roster, but like those dudes don't really even get any burn. And then in this era, it's just, you don't have like true floor general point guards to get them involved. And so they go in there and they just kind of run around for a few minutes and then get taken out. It's just not super entertaining. And yeah, like you said, when you have to format and structure the game to entertain in a different way, I think let's just have some better quality on the wood. Let's make the game more competitive. Let's say, all right, whoever wins, is $1 million to this charity or something. Let's give the teams something really to play for. Instead of just, I mean, I like what they're doing with the charity thing, but at the same time, it just feels gimmicky. It feels like there's kind of no merit. And you don't got the old head dogs in the league anymore, who are going to kind of set the tone. Like I was telling you off air, Kyrie Irving was going the hardest that I could see. And then you kind of, you validated why was he going so hard? He's trying to get that MVP. He's trying to honor Kobe.
I shined the light on you. I let you see what it was.
Yeah, like when I was watching, I'm like, dang, Kyrie's crashing the glass, like the offensive glass. He's kind of trying to D up, like he's got this kind of demeanor, this like I'm playing for keeps. Not rah rah sis boom ba, and like I do, regardless of why he was doing it, I do kind of appreciate that. Right. But like you kind of highlighted, like that might be more for selfish reasons, trying to get a triple double, trying to get the MVP. But it just, I mean, it was awful basketball. And I'd rather watch one of their pickup runs at that one gym in New York or wherever they play, because like, they can go hard and you can see them kind of going at each other, and it's not, just raindrops and bubble gum out there. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. To add on to your Kyrie take, and the reason I said that is because Kobe, the MVP is named after Kobe. That's the only reason he did it. I don't see him, like how you said how he was hustling. That's definitely out of Kyrie's character. The only time he really truly, like, I want to say the times I've seen him, every time I do watch a Nets game or even the Celtics or a Cavaliers game, Kyrie doesn't crash like that. He doesn't crash the boards. He's usually out just trying to get a bucket, which is fine. It's just the type of basketball that's played today. But that was odd to me that you said that. But the only reason I could think him doing that is to try to get the MVP, which is named after Kobe Bryant. So that's the only reason I could see that happening. But add on to your points, though. Yeah, I would think it'd be more entertaining to see maybe all of them go one-on-one. I mean, they say it's a positionless league now, right? Most of those people on that All-Star team could probably not necessarily handle the ball, but at least some wing skills. That would be more entertaining. Not to mention that puts people on the spot to play defense.
True. So
I would like that more compared to we just run up and down the floor. They're not playing hard. And you could clearly see they're not playing hard. There's been the times there was alley-oops. Or someone just let people drive to the lane. It's not entertaining to someone who really loves basketball. I get it's for the kids. It's to bring in the person that doesn't really know basketball. It's just to show the flash and the pizzazz. And again, it's a business. It is what it is. But no, to your point, for sure the runs at UCLA or in New York at that Lifetime Fitness, those runs are way more competitive than what we see this fucking All-Star game. This shit is trash. You really need to figure out something. I mean, like you said, maybe give them $100 million or whatever to the choice of charity. They're doing that now, and it's yet to improve anything on how competitive they need to be. And I think that's really kind of what it is. I'm not saying these players aren't competitive, because we've seen them be competitive in moments that they can be. I just think they don't take the All-Star game serious anymore, because I get it. The really good players are going to get some time off. It's mostly for them to relax and really not go hard. I get it. I totally understand that. but that's boring to the basketball fan. It really is. Like I said, it's all for most of this to me seems more for the casual fan or the kids. But for someone like you and me and the tons of other people that we know, it's not entertaining. I don't think it is. I haven't thought it is in a long time. I want to say before that Kobe Bryant explanation I gave when he was, showing LeBron what to do and shit. I think the most memorable one that I could go back to is when I want to say it was maybe 2002, maybe 2001. When Stephon Marbury was hitting like 2 threes back to back. Kobe hit like 2 jumpers back to back. But and that was just and that went down to the wire. Like that ended up having to be won by a buzzer beater.
Right.
And that's the kind of stuff I think we kind of grew up on, we kind of saw, and we just wanted to be competitive. I don't want to see just some bullshit and like them just relaxing. Granted, I'm not in that position, but to the fan that really enjoys basketball, I think that's what I would hope for.
Well, and one of my recent memories that when Jordan hit that shot over Marion, that was like the peak of the All-Star game probably for me. And I mean, all my old favorite players, Jason Kidd, Kevin Garnett, Tracy McGrady, Joe Johnson, like I only watched the All-Star game this year because A, it was on TV, and B, because we're doing this podcast. Like I wouldn't have watched it otherwise, because I know, like you said, what you're getting. And, it's not basketball. I think the players just need to be, more accountable. And, back in the day, at least from, let's say like 05 to 2015, and like how I say, I don't mind them starting off with dunks, getting loose, kind of like going through the motions for the first quarter. But as the game progressed, especially once it hit the fourth quarter, you saw the players start to lock in. You start to see them play defense. You saw them trying to get better shots, and it wasn't just Tuscadero defense. And there isn't any of that. And I don't want to say people that say like, well, it's because LeBron's team was up 20 and there was no chance for the game to be competitive this year. Well, that also goes to the format of it being just 4 individual games. Like, okay, then instead of giving the other team a lead into the fourth quarter, how about you just say 0-0 first team to 21, game, like, because then you don't need like a time on the clock. You don't need the score to be anything. It's just off rip, play to 11, play to 15, whatever. But because you either need competitiveness from the score to create some kind of sense of urgency and intensity in the game, or you need the players to hold themselves accountable and play harder. And that doesn't necessarily mean like playing the hardest ever, but like the style of basketball. I mean when you play at the gym pre-pandemic, what it's like when you're hooping with your boys and it's like a casual run, and then you can kind of turn it up a notch. Maybe if you're playing against some dudes you don't know or whatever, like it's not like you have to go like trying to kill these dudes and go at them, but like instead of coming down and joking with your boy and just ISO step back 3, make or miss, it don't matter. Like you're going to try to get a better bucket. And so I feel like let's just, is it going to take $1 billion of charity money to get them to play harder? Or should like LeBron and KD and Giannis and those kinds of players kind of step up to the plate and stop treating it like, a charity game that they're playing a bunch of teachers in in an assembly. Like, I just think the players need to hold themselves accountable. And you can smile and giggle and stuff, but like, it literally, like Jason Tatum will come down and just jack a 3. It's like, dude, you're not even a 3-point shooter like that. And you have other dudes on your team who are just like, oh, he missed it, let me run back down. Like, it's awful to watch in a sense. And then Zion, I want to talk about him for a second. I'm starting to really like Zion. I like the kid. But he needs to lose some weight. He looks extremely heavy to where he still has obviously elite athleticism, but he looks like he needs to lose 20, 25 pounds maybe even more. But I love his strength. But like, I mean, he's going up for lobs, and people are throwing him lobs like he's got a 99 driving dunk on NBA 2K. Like he's just going to catch everything. And like the dude still needs a runway, and he needs to be able to contort his body to catch these lobs. But you know, man, like it's a dunk fest, and he's supposed to be one of the best dunkers. You know, I really hope the kid can like get in some actual good shape in a couple of years, because I think, like we talked about him on another pod, I think he's starting to kind of put it together how to use his body to score. But I want to see the longevity. I want to see him hit that Barkley ceiling, because he is a good kid. Did you catch his interview? Like, I mean, he interviews like he has to ask his parents, you know, for permission. Mom, oh, can I answer this? Yeah, and like I like that. I like he's humble, like just a good-natured kid. Someone on Twitter said, like, man, when Zion learns how to cuss, watch out, because he's gonna turn into that dog. But yeah, like they were just throwing him like hella lobs. He started the game like 1 for 6, and I'm just like, what are we doing, man? Like, just you're throwing it at the shot clock, thinking he's just gonna grab everything. But yeah, and then did you catch any of the actual dunk contests at all?
Tell you what happened. I can tell you what happened.
Do you even know who was in it?
3 bums.
Three rookies, but yeah, okay.
3 bums. And then they probably missed a few dunks, made their last 1 or 2. So I'll say they got 3 attempts. One of them probably made their first one, which was an okay dunk. The other 2 probably missed 1 or 2, maybe 3, and made the last one. And that was about it. And then Kenny Smith came in and oohed and awed at every dunk that someone made, thinking it was the greatest dunk of all time, when it really wasn't.
He didn't actually. So let me tell you what really happened. Let me tell
you.
He's
what done really that happened. Every time. Like ever since he brought Blake Griffin out. I'm not saying this is easy, but I want to say dunking over a rim, over a hood of a car. I mean, I'm pretty sure LeBron could have done that with ease. I think we saw Kobe jump over a moving car. Granted, it's fake, obviously.
That was not real.
but I guarantee you LeBron could have jumped probably over if he wanted to. LeBron got a really good stretch. I'm pretty sure LeBron could have probably dunked over a car like.
I think most people can at this point. It's just lifting your legs up. I think all of them can get this.
But after that, I stopped believing in Kenny Smith.
But let me tell you what happened. So it was between Anthony Simons, my boy, Obadiah, and Cassius Stanley, who's on a 2-way contract, who Ernie Johnson highlighted before the thing. He's never dunked in an NBA game. So we could literally have the first dunk champion who's never literally dunked an NBA game. If you're familiar with Cassius, are you familiar with Cassius?
I don't know any.
Okay, so he went to Duke, and he is known for his dunking. He's like a YouTube sensation. Dude's got a 44-inch vertical. He's a crazy bounce. And he's won all kinds of dunk contests. Like, I mean, he's built for this, and he's a 2-way player. So he plays for like the Mad Ants, and he gets in the NBA dunk contest because he's on that 2-way contract. But he starts off the entire contest at halftime with only 3 people this time because of how COVID and everything. It's all weird. He does a dunk. He throws it like a lob to himself, and then he east bays between his legs and finishes with his left hand. Now the judges were Spud Webb, Jason Richardson, Dominique Wilkins, D Brown, and your boy Josh Smith. And so we've all seen an east bay between the legs dunk now. And when someone does it, like you said, Team Flight Brothers, if you especially can do it and you make it look super easy, the judges and everything kind of think, okay, well, we want to see something new. We've already seen that. I've never dunked between my legs. I still think it's kind of a difficult dunk to do. But clearly, go ahead.
My bad. Disclosure, we're not saying these dunks are easy.
Right.
We're saying we've seen them, and these are supposed to be the greatest athletes in the world. So we want something different. But go ahead, my bad.
So no, yeah, exactly. This dunk's not easy. And he completes it on the first try. with ease, and then he throws up a 5-0, it's over. And they give him a 44. And it was kind of like, whoa, that was a warm-up dunk, but that dunk 12 years ago would have been blowing people's minds.
Yeah, for sure.
But we've seen, non-professional hoopers do that every day. So you have to, in my opinion, the dunk contest needs a sense of creativity that maybe these NBA players just don't have. Or you need a sense of star power. You need Zion in it. You need Ja Morant. You need Zach LaVine to always be in it. Like, because these dudes with stupid bounce that's great, but you don't have the actual creativity to do dunks we've never seen, or dunks, remix them in a way that we've never seen before. So the second dunk, so you see just the pure disappointment on Cassius Stanley's face. Like, he's been waiting his whole life for this. Right. And he ends up kind of, I think the judges hoed him a little bit, but I'm like, okay. Now you have the 5 judges, and they did this because of Dwayne Wade fucked up the dunk contest last year, where he gave old boy Aaron Gordon that 9 in the dunk off, because you can't let it go forever. So the rules were the 2 go to the 2 of the 3 go to the final round. They have 1 dunk each, and then the judges just put a name in. They don't have scores, so 3-2 or whatever. So it'll be over after that second round. But so Kenny's talking about, like, that's a good dunk. That's a tough dunk. He's getting penalized for being making it look too easy, but maybe they're going to judge this way harder, because if that dunk was a 44, then you better bring something hot. So Obi Toppin, my boy, never met him before, but I like him. He comes out, he drives baseline, and he bounces it off the ground, and then catches it between his legs, and then dunks it like a 2-hand reverse. And I've seen that dunk before, but I think that is not an easy dunk either. Right. And Kenny's like, that's a 50, but we just saw Zach LaVine do that in warmups like last night. So he was kind of like, you got to bring something different. But he ends up getting like a 48. And Cassius is over there like, man, this is crazy. Like, and then Anthony Simons, his dunk was, he put a little Nerf hoop up there that was close to 11 feet, top of the square. And he went and grabbed it and just did a regular dunk. It's sort of creative. He can get up for sure.
It could be creative, but it could still be a dud.
Yeah. So he does that, and then he gets like a 47. So Cassius, who is by far the best dunker in this competition.
Okay, hold on, wait. Now I got a beef. Well, sorry to cut off, but yeah, he get a 47 for that.
Right.
Cassius gets a 44. See, they need to let the fans. If we're letting the fans just vote fucking Devin Booker in, we need to have the fans vote for the dunk contest too.
Right.
And I'm gonna get on that Devin Booker take too.
So
fuckers out there, I'm getting on that.
So you see Cassius Stanley like, okay, shit, I gotta get a 50 basically, or I'm not going to the next round. And you can tell he can do crazy amounts of dunks, but he ends up he throws it up again, he catches it, and he was going to go under both legs. He literally just did the same thing, but he went, between the legs, left hand finish. He was going to try to do the same thing under the legs. We've also seen that before. So I think Cassius had a bad strategy. He didn't complete it twice. Now he's pressing. He's like, man, I don't know what to do. And then he ends up just getting a dunk down. Like, he just, catches it, and he flies and gets a regular dunk. I feel bad for him because, a lot of people said he got hoed on that first dunk, and I think he did in comparison to what the other 2 were. But you can't be like, all right, I gotta pull something out of my hat, and then it's the same kind of dunk. Like, someone a few years ago, maybe it was Derek Jones, but he basically was jumping over people and doing a windmill. It didn't matter what he did. He jump over a person, do a windmill. He'd jump over 2 people, do a windmill. It's like, dude, you're doing the same shit. Like, switch it up. I literally, you can go on Twitter or YouTube right now and see dudes doing crazy custom dunks. And I'm 100% sure they don't have crazier bounce than the NBA players.
There's literally a kid. My bad to cut you off again.
No, it's just get some creativity.
And like, threw it through his legs and dunked it like this from behind.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen this video. I don't think it's fake. I mean, they keep rewinding and showing other shit, but yeah, like, there's so much more creativity out there than there is in the NBA.
And like I've seen dunks where someone throws it like behind the back off the glass dunk. Like just do something different.
Yeah.
You have a white dude in Jordan Kilgannon or however you pronounce his name doing these scorpion dunks. Like he's inventing dunks.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, like go do that. I don't understand, and then oh boy, he kissed the rim at the very end to win it. Not a lot of creativity. And I think lacking that star power, the dunk contest is just going down and down. And then with just the judging, just, everyone on Twitter saying like, this shit's like, these people are just wrong in how they're judging the thing. So you can't even get a proper contest that way. Disappointing. Hopefully next year Zion gets in, Cassius comes back and it's maybe a little bit different, but I don't know. It was again disappointing.
It was a trash all-star game again.
Pretty much. I mean, I don't want to say it was absolute trash, but like, I mean, and then there's Reggie Miller and Chris Webber. I'm dying on Twitter. Like I see Reggie's trending and they're saying, all the memes of like your ears bleeding, the dude taking his headphones off, like Reggie Miller's just slobbing all over Steph Curry. Chris Webber is just, he's a G, but he's got to like put on this persona for a TNT. And it was just like, man, I'm about to mute this. And it was like, for those of you who watch The Walking Dead, I still watch Walking Dead and I'm just kind of bored out of my mind watching it. And so, yeah, next year, I think I'm going to go do some woodworking or play around a golf or something. The All-Star game is on.
We definitely got to get into like these trash former NBA announcers. Just because they played the game, they can announce basketball. No, they don't have the personality for it. They're corny as shit, and no one wants to hear corny, but that's for another time.
Well, and yeah, before we talk about that on another time, I will say my boy Richard Jefferson, who I met at the Mike Bibby camp when I was like 10. He is my favorite announcer right now because he's a goon. Like he'll say stuff that is funny, like innuendos and stuff, but he's cleverly, and some people probably are annoyed by him, but Richard Jefferson needs more burn. Get Chris Webber out of here, and get Reggie Miller off the air. My goodness.
Well, also, I think Richard Jefferson with ESPN, so
true. That's probably a valid point, but at the same time, throw him the bag to bring him over to TNT or something. Like, if Skip Bayless can make 32 mil just talking reckless by, another network, we'll take Richard's spot on ESPN. But
I don't really care for Skip Bayless, but Skip Bayless also won a pretty prestigious writing award in college. So, it's probably
in 1939. That's cool.
Whatever it is, it's a pretty prestigious writing award. But that's neither here nor there. That's probably one of the reasons why he's even on TV, but that's neither here nor there. Right. Excuse me. But yeah, no, I don't know if you want to touch on the 3-point contest. I don't really care for it. I think the 3-point contest is trash. I just think all of All-Star Weekend is trash. They've tried so many times to revamp it and make it cool. It's not. They tried one year to have old players like Magic Johnson come back and play a 3-on-3 or like do the little half court, full mid-range jump, all that shit.
A little hot shot.
That wasn't cool. They tried to have Kevin Durant do 2 horse year to play horse outside before every All-Star game. That wasn't cool. They just do a bunch of. I don't even think the skill challenge is cool. I think that's weird. That doesn't really prove any skill for you to dribble between a cone. Yeah, don't get me. There's nothing wrong with that, anyways. You could train like that, but to prove that is for being like I said, the greatest athletes in the world, going up and down through cones, throwing a ball through a hole. I think today's kids that practice these kind of things could do that. Anyone that's played in college could do that. I don't think that's a skill challenge. I think they need to get rid of all this shit. Just name the All-Stars and let them play one-on-one. Let them play King of the Court.
Right.
I think that would be way more entertaining. Have both ends go at each other. Fuck it. Have instead of having just a full court, have 6 courts.
That would be hot.
Play it this way and have them just go at each other. And trust me, That's going to be way more entertaining to see everyone, because everyone's ego is going to be on the line. You have to play defense. You're not going to want to get embarrassed.
Yeah.
They're embarrassed. They're afraid to get embarrassed. And I get it. I wouldn't want to get dunked on. So they're embarrassed to like stand in front, you know, play actual defense, take a charge. And granted, it is All-Star weekend, so it's technically at this time and age in basketball, it's more of a relaxation for the stars. That's basically what it is. But no, it's not. We want to see some fucking intensity. I want to see that. I think that would be even more entertaining and bring more of a different fan base into it. I just think the All-Star game is trash. It's not football trash, but it's trash.
Right. And football is trash because no one wants to get hurt. No one wants to get hurt.
At the end, like literally the last game of this, no one wants to do that. So I understand that,
but for me, I will touch on the 3-point contest real quick. I do have a problem with a couple of things. One, they're starting to make that a gimmick in a sense. They added 2 Mountain Dew 3 balls.
I saw that.
And I want one of those balls. I would love to put it up in the studio. You know, that'd be hot. But and I don't have a problem with adding things, I guess, in a sense, like if they added a half court ball or something, like just, you know, but also too, in this era now you can add your money ball rack all on one rack and you choose where that's at. Which I don't know why someone would choose to use it on the first spot, because you need to get hot, you need to get warm. That's stupid to me. But one thing, Reggie Miller, you need to chill, dog. You need to chill and get off your knees for Steph. There's so much slobber on the wood. Like you are literally just, I mean, I get it. He's a good shooter. But we're putting this guy on a pedestal like he's, you know, like there's never been a shooter like him. You know, I think sort of like LaMelo Ball, Steph's confidence, and yeah, he's a good shooter, but his confidence is probably his best attribute just because he doesn't give a fuck. He thinks he's going to hit every shot, and that's what you need. That's great.
You know, you need confidence, yeah.
Right, but like Reggie, chill, bro. Like, I mean, it was like my ears were bleeding listening him just anoint him the best shooter of all time. He's like, he put the fear of God and all these, and then it's like Mike Connolly goes and has like a 28 or 27 point round.
Wasn't it a close?
Yeah, it was it came down to the last shot. And then on top of that, I see on social media, and this is probably more so social media, but people anointing Curry. He had like the first 30-point round or whatever. It's like, no shit, there's more points to be had. So I don't know why you're comparing a round in 2021 to like Larry Bird, you know, whenever he had his 3-peat or whatever. So like when you're adding just different shots and like, let's stop acting like Curry in this era is just better than every shooter that came before him. I would love to see Larry Bird, Ray Allen, you know, give me a couple give me Jason Capono, give me Casey Jacobson, Peja.
There we go. Okay, I didn't know if you're gonna bring him up.
I
think he's the only one to win 3 in a row.
Like, you know, Craig Hodges, give me somebody. Let's stop acting like Reggie. Get your ass on the wood. You can still shoot the ball. Like stop acting like he's this God's gift to basketball, you know, shooter. But yeah, so 3-point contest was ironically probably the most competitive part of the whole weekend or Sunday.
Was Dame in it?
Dame was not in it. Who would be my choice? That's my dog. But then also too, if you look at the era of how people shoot from like now compared to 20 years ago or 10 years ago, like Steph Curry has revolutionized how to shoot from deep. He shoots under his chin, and it's a set shot.
No one mentions that at all. Like he really does. He doesn't shoot like how we were taught. He shoots literally from like right here. It's like a push shot.
And it's a set shot. He does not elevate on his jumper. He has his mid range is just like a little, like, and
his wrist it's really just a quick release.
Yeah, it's quick, and he follows through the exact same way every time, and he knows his shot. So he's a good shooter. He can shoot like that. But when you adapt, when you teach your kids how to shoot like that, when you change like Markelle Fultz's shot like this to here or this to this, like you're ruining a shot by putting it under someone's chin I mean, I understand like Trae Young does the same thing, but these little guys who they're going for quick release instead of an unblockable release. And that's what I love about Dame. Dame shoots like a grown man from half.
And what's funny is I forgot where the poll was at, but it was saying who would you rather have in the clutch, Dame or Curry? Taking Dame all day.
Give me Dame, 100%.
I don't think maybe Steph hit a 1 or 2, maybe 5 game winners out of his career in the regular season, but Dame's hit him in the regular season. He's hit him in the playoffs. I just think he needs a little bit more help. I don't think he's going to be in Portland his whole career. I don't think he's going to ring chase, but I do think he's going to go into a better situation. Not now, but I will give him some time where he'll be like, I gave it all I can. I think, it's time for me to finally find someone else that could be a nice running mate to make a run at a championship. And that's not knocking Dame. I think Dame's still going to be a centerpiece no matter where he goes. But
to piggyback on that real quick, I actually don't knock a player who's done all they can in a situation for 10 years and the organization just won't allow them to get over the hump.
That's how we don't knock KG.
Right. Like KG, Ray Allen, like those kinds of players. And that, again, happened more organically than like, I'm a free agent. Hey, best friend, you want to team up over here? And a bunch of role players who fit our style perfectly. Why don't you come and take the veterans minimum? Like that kind of stuff is BS to me. But to me, it's, Dame he's like, same with Giannis signing that super deal or whatever. Like, I think those guys committed to their city. They've given them multiple years to try to build a contender. Giannis is closer than Dame, but like, I don't think any of them can get over the hump by themselves in this sense, in this era of big threes. And so I wouldn't mind a Dame going and being the missing piece or like the centerpiece of a squad that's already kind of built, because he's done all he can. But give me Dame over Curry. I mean, that shot on Paul George in the playoffs that's as clutch as you could possibly be. But yeah, I mean, so like, let's just stop anointing. Let's not stop being a prisoner of the moment. And let's also act like we've been there before. If you hit a 3 ball. And that's what I love about Dame. He hits a shot and he runs down. It's like, yeah, I've done that before. Steph Curry hits a shot and he's pulling his dong out, whipping it around in the punch bowl. Like, we all have to drink from that, Stefan. All right. So like, put your dong away and tell Aisha you'll meet her back in the hotel room later. It's ridiculous, but my feelings on that.
No, for sure. Last little quick thing I want to say about the All-Star game, I guess. I could recall that I could think of off the top of my head, maybe there's a little bit more. There's at least 5 players that did not play. They say to injury, they say to all this, whatever it may be. I just don't think they wanted to play. Kevin Durant, they say it's hamstring. I just think he wants to rest. Like I said, the dude came off of 2 years from not playing due to his Achilles. So maybe he just wants to rest and be ready for the playoffs. Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, LeBron, he played in the All-Star game, but like you said, he sat out the whole fourth quarter, didn't even bother. Whether or not 20 or up, didn't play. He wanted to rest. I guarantee you his minutes aren't that crazy if you look at the beginning. And then all your guys' boy, the guy everyone was saying, why didn't he make it? Devin Booker. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. He wasn't hurt. And I think we did talk on it the last podcast, but the Suns won without him against the Lakers. So I think that goes to prove my point that I think Chris Paul is deserving of being an MVP. Not an MVP, an All-Star this year. Devin Booker really isn't. And I don't understand. Everyone was all chanting for him, and he just decides to sit out. I think the reason he decided to sit out, and I could be totally wrong, but here's my opinion, is because he really didn't deserve it. Last year, he didn't deserve it either. He didn't get it on his own merit. The people he got, and the reason he was in, because the people that were supposed to be in it were hurt. Anthony Davis is really hurt, so I can see why that didn't happen. But yeah, he didn't really earn it. I'm not saying he's not having a great season. I'm just saying he's not an all-star. I don't need people saying, oh, you're just hating and all this other bullshit. No, he didn't earn it. The coaches didn't vote him in. There's a reason the coaches didn't vote him in. There's a reason the coaches didn't see him being all-star worthy this year or last year. The reason he got it was because 2 people got hurt. That's the only reason why. And probably feel like he deserved it. I guarantee you.
So you're saying Devin Booker said, man, the morning before the game, I don't think I deserve this. I'm not gonna play.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know the guy. I don't know the kid at all. But he could have. Shit. I would have. If I were him, I don't deserve this. I hope I would have played. Right? Gonna let me play just because it's me. I've probably just been on the bench. But if I was Devin Booker, I definitely would have played. Everyone made such a big rah-rah for him to be in this game. And look what happened. The fool said, I'm not playing. I'm hurt. You were not hurt. Don't give me that. I don't believe that one bit. I just don't think he wanted to. I don't think he felt like he earned it. And it's 2 years in a row. And guys like me, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that had this opinion that he didn't deserve to be an all-star last year. This year, if they don't vote, you win. There's a reason they vote. There's a reason there's voting outside of political shit. There's a reason there's voting in sports. If we're gonna go play pickup somewhere, you're gonna pick someone who looks like they can play. I'm not saying he doesn't look like that. There's a reason people vote for people to be on these teams.
So you're saying Booker's that dude, he comes up to you like, hey, who's got next? He's like, I do. You got 5? Whether you have 5 or not, you're not picking up Devin Booker. You're like, yeah, I got 5. You can have after me. You're saying he's not worthy to be on the team. Me,
or are we asking just some bum that's gonna be like, oh, it's Devin Booker?
I'm saying
I don't give a fuck if it's Devin Booker or if it's fucking Jordan. The only reason I say that is because I want to play. I want to touch the ball too. Pause. He ain't passing the ball.
True.
That's me.
I think it would, and also too how Chris Paul played, like you said. I think it does show kind of who runs the show, and why the Suns are what they are right now.
Take Chris Paul off that team, they're back in the same position last year, 10 and 30 right now.
Yeah, and maybe they are improving slightly, but it goes to show what
I wouldn't say slightly. They're number 2 in the West. So, I mean,
no, I'm saying like without Chris, like because they did play well in the bubble last year. Whether we put a bunch of merit into that, but I'm saying so they might be getting slowly better by adding more pieces, just naturally growing year in year out. But Chris Paul is the guy in Phoenix, and I would love to hear what y'all have to say to Groovy Mike about Devin Booker. I know a lot of people in Arizona love him. They are Reggie Miller-esque for him, like he is for Steph. And so I think it'll be interesting to hear how people feel about that Devin Booker take.
Oh yeah, go ahead, tell me, shit on me, do all that other good shit. Pause, but
shit on your chest.
Yeah, I'm probably totally wrong on my take, but I do believe this is the guy you guys all were fighting for. Everyone was saying that, why wasn't Devin Booker? He was fucking snubbed. No, he wasn't snubbed. He just wasn't. No one saw it this year that he was worthy to be in the game. He just wasn't. I didn't see anything different. Like I said, you can make an argument for the other 2 people I named, Paul George and Donovan Mitchell. You can make an argument that those 3 could be interchangeable and who would be the all-star. But then again, Chris Paul is the reason why the Suns are in the position they are, not Devin Booker. And I do believe that Lakers game proved it. They won without him. But that's just me. That's just what I believe in. I don't think that there's nothing wrong with that.
I love it. I love hearing you shit on Devin Booker.
But and people might think I got a slight against Devin Booker. I don't. I just don't think he's in the era that people want to put him in. I think he's a great player. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think he's Kobe-esque. I don't think he's Ray Allen-esque. I don't think he's Dwayne Wade-esque. I don't think he's any of these top Hall of Fame point guards that people try to push him to. I don't think that. The same way that they try to push Ben Simmons to be LeBron, I do believe that's what people try to push Devin Booker to be. I don't think he is that. we've seen these Hall of Fame players that we try to compare him to right off the bat. They made an impact on the league. Right, third year, they were probably in the playoffs already. I guarantee you that. You go back and look, they were in the playoffs already. Devin Booker has yet to be in the playoffs. Granted, you could talk about how shitty an organization the Suns are. That's true. But Kevin Garnett is probably with one. Kevin Garnett, and there's I think they're going to be a documentary on this. I'm not 100% sure, but he is definitely he was definitely a part of the shittiest organization in the NBA, and that is the Minnesota Timberwolves. They played him, but he still found a way to become an MVP and become all-star, all this other good shit, become a Hall of Famer, being on that shitty-ass organization, and he found a way to do it with that ragtag bunch of people that you claim he had. So I'm not okay with people just anointing people that they're this when they're really not. Like it's not okay with me, and I'm just gonna tell y'all the truth, and I'm gonna stir the punch bowl with my dong and let y'all know what it is.
So to finish the rant in this episode, how many points would Devin Booker average in like 1998?
We'll give it to you. So I'm just gonna go ahead and admit it. I thought he'd average 12 back in the fucking 90s, but after reevaluation and like going back, he averaged about 15, 16. I will give him another 3-4 points.
We talked about this extensively off air, and I think Devin Booker is like a 16 plus points per game scorer in the 90s and early 2000s. I love hearing you just double team him in an open run and get under his feathers a little bit. You know, that what we're doing in here. But
that's your boy, not mine.
It's not my boy, definitely not yours. And you know, I'm sure this won't be the last time we hear some Devin Booker shit talking on the Test Run podcast.
And probably, I mean, you probably won't be until I see. I mean, and who am I? I'm just a regular average guy trying to make it out this world. He's already made it in this world. So like I said, I got nothing against the guy, but I'm just not okay with people anointing people this. He's not this, he's this. But
yeah, I mean, bring him down to LA Fitness and see what he's got, you know, if he's got the plums, as I like to say.
Don't get me wrong, he's probably gonna work everybody at the gym, but I mean, that we're just LA Fitness hoopers. That's about it.
I'm an LA Fitness legend, actually. Thank you very much.
You're a Greenfield.
I'm a Greenfield legend. But anyway, so what are we talking on the next pod? Getting into some Blake Griffin Nets talk.
Ooh, yes, please tune in for that one, because you thought I was stirring the punch bowl this episode. I'm definitely gonna be stirring it the next one. I'll save all that shit for then. But yeah, please tune in. Got some crazy shit. We got some shit in the works too. Stay tuned. But yeah.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in. The punch bowl is officially being stirred with Mike's dong. You definitely want to take a sip next episode when we get into the Blake Griffin Nets podcast. And appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm Quest Sparrow.
Oh, for sure. Also, too, like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. Tell us how good of a job we're doing, or how shitty of a job we're doing.
Tell us how shitty Devin Booker is in the comments if you agree.
Tell us how great he is, and tell him how wrong I am.